2 years ago, I took a crack at creating my own original character. Took inspiration from the little magnetic robot from Big Hero 6 and those weird robots from Nier Automata. Add some spiral eyes and thus Quadratic Theta was born. QT for short. And you might be wondering how I came up with that name. It could be because this game is basically Cuphead fused with Donkey Kong and basketball, where the mechanics are inspired by math philosophy. That, or I just wanted a simple robot name that was more marketable. Fast forward 2 years and I began my training with Photoshop on Skillshare, who is not the sponsor of this video because, well, I began with landscapes for a solid few days to get used to how Photoshop works, and then attempted designing my crates for the core gameplay. I then took on drawing QT for the third time, and well, let's just say, good. Credits to JBrains on Instagram for helping me with the cover art where I drew inspiration from his take on QT. I don't think I'm at the level where I can conjure abstract fantasy environments, so I drew inspiration from the only internship I've ever had, which was working as a production engineer intern for a car manufacturing company. Put it all together and we have the Vector Point Kingdom, a series of locations ruled and defended by these vector tanks and hard-working machines that reside here. I think it would be cool to add like a corporate story element to these environments, but we'll see how that goes. When importing to Unity, however, the fog doesn't match with the parallax effect because I've been too lazy to finalize it, and so my strategy with the parallax is pretty much like I copy the landscape twice. When you get through one landscape, another one will just shift over to the next. It gives the illusion that you're like in this seemingly long plantation of machines. I had to use Spine's API to redo a lot of the characters' animations, and this is why it's been a while since I've posted anything. Not that my being late is anything new. It was now time to take everything I learned, honor every tear that I shed, then grabbed onto my nose and climbed back into my eye socket for this moment. We're updating the snails. Snails, in case you don't know, are kind of the main enemies of the game. However, there was one big problem. Shaders. My nemesis. Why must you haunt me every turn I make? Kind of funny because I didn't have this issue before using Spine. I'm not trying to disrespect Spine or anything. It's just the normal shaders do not work on Spine animation stuff. Well, actually, it turns out they just released a package for this. Well, anyways, I'm going to tell you my story. After spending days of documentation, research, and seeing this face everywhere in the forums, I came across the render texture technique. But at this point, I was burnt out, learning a million skills, so I took time to build some other level mechanics. And then I came back into it after that, and it was Code Monkey who once again saves the day with his in-depth tutorials and this screenshot technique for render textures. But yeah, my two heroes for the Spine shader situation right here. That's what they look like, in case you don't know. It's a great tool though. It's made animation so easy. It's just a shader part that's annoying to deal with, but that's just how it is, you know, things. At least it's not like super expensive or anything, and there's a lot of tools that I can use that I would have otherwise been very difficult in Unity by itself. Right, so I have no equipment because I forgot my stuff. I'm at this hotel at some undisclosed location that I'm not going to share, and I'm gonna edit this later and figure it out when the video comes out somehow. I don't know.